Goes, oh yes, I just remembered, dude. I got a piece of pizza in the fridge from Costco. Yes. Okay, I'm pumped about that.
Please don't let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams? I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to forget all my problems, cause I'm done. Everybody watching when they look at what might be. I just wanna call my mama, tell her I'm the one. Nothing she ain't know, got my angels right by me. Yeah, got my guidance. I'm just trying to sleep so I can fly in. Baby, take my hand, know that I'm the pilot. I've been waiting just to show you, go and tell me if you like it. So let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams? I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to
play and act like I'm sleeping, they ain't gon' notice me. Think I live for the week and my mind is weakening. Need a smoke break and 2 shots of whatever. Multiply the 2 until they both surrender. And now I'm better than ever, like got a cuties watching. Like rollers watching the Cuban autumn, demise of watering. I'm drowning, I'm hoping the world ain't pleased, I'm underground. I'm drowning, I need a hand, so
please don't let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams?
This will be the new place where I'll be for the next little bit. You know, the 8 months. 8 months. 8 months times 30. 8 times 3 is about 8, 16, 24. That's about 240 days approximately. There's other days too. That you're not home. So like give or take maybe 230 days here for the next 8 months. It's a pretty big jump. I'm glad to be here today. Actually, I've been setting up the studio with my girlfriend. We actually put some sound stuff behind the blanket, so hopefully that is a big improvement. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I don't know if it's just decoration or if it's like an actual thing that's helping. But anyways, we've been gone for about 3 weeks, and oh my God, these last 3 weeks have just been busy. So I was getting this place. We were looking all over the place to find somewhere to call home or call the studio home or wherever. And we finally nailed it down. And, when you get your own place, you start getting the Wi-Fi, you start getting things and the furniture and like the plunger. Those little things happen and you got to do. So if you're, about to get a new place, remember you got to get little things like that and it starts adding up. But you got to remember, you got to spend money to, make a little home, not everything's going to happen overnight as well. When I was younger though, my mom, we would move a lot when we were younger and the Wi-Fi would always take the longest to get. When we were kids, me and my brother were, we'd play on Xbox, we'd play on our computers and, we would do school, but we needed Wi-Fi. And the thing is, we always felt like my mom was like not wanting to get Wi-Fi just to not get it, just to kind of make us like go outside or something. But back then, that's how it was. Like you would get Wi-Fi and then you would have to wait a certain amount of time for the Wi-Fi guy to come by your house in a van to like activate it. Nowadays, I went to Xfinity and like I signed a couple things and I had Wi-Fi that day. And that's for me living in the city. Shout out to the 206. That's a benefit there. Obviously, in some places, it probably still is like that. But where I'm at, it wasn't like that. And it was super cool and refreshing. So what else has been going on with me lately? Let me tell you guys a story of what happened here. I was at work. And I work at a radio station. And some guy walks in. and I have no idea who this guy is, but he looked, well kept. And he walks in and he was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." I was like, "Hi." And he didn't say his name. And I was just like, "Okay." I said, "I'm Dom." And he's like, "Cool, cool." And then he didn't say his. So I was just like, "Okay, whatever." He's like, "Can you show me what you're doing around here?" And I was like, yeah. So I did. And all of a sudden I was like 30 seconds in. I was like, "Oh, this is our social media. I do this and this and that." And he's like, "Oh, here's $500. And I was like, I can't take your money, bro. And he's like, no, I'm Jimmy Darts from TikTok. And I was like, whoa. It was like one of those things like you never expect to happen to you in real life, and it actually happened. And shout out to him and his team. That was real cool of him to do that. And they handed me off to this nice nonprofit organization. So shout out to them. And they helped get this desk. So really, really nice of them to do that. So I've been also looking at stuff in Walmart or Target and stuff, and I had to go return something in the Walmart lane. And the customer service at Walmart actually gets their, they do their job, but it's a matter of how and when they're going to get it done. I was waiting in line for at least 10 minutes. And you start getting impatient. I don't know why I was getting impatient. I didn't have to go anywhere, but this lady was just like looking under a microscope to find like this item number. This lady was obviously trying to scam them and like said, "I bought this thing here," and she like ripped off the barcode. Like, why would you rip off the barcode like precisely like that? So she's like underneath the microscope, and customer service closes in like 10 more minutes. So I thought she was like trying to go extra slow so she wouldn't have to help me. So I started getting impatient, and then eventually this lady goes, and then she returns it. And then the next day I go back. I went to go buy a microwave for my mom's apartment, and I was helping her move it, and I dropped it, and I had to return the microwave, and they were so rude. I don't know. They were super rude about it. I don't know, I didn't really get why she was so rude. It was just a little microwave, Oh, man. What else has been going on? I've noticed about every time I log into Instagram now, there's a sponsored advertisement. I'm ready to start just paying for Instagram. The amount of sponsored ads every time I open the app is like, it's starting to turn into one of those apps, that you play, you like the game, and then the ads just pop up every time you die or a new round. It's starting to get like that for Instagram, man. I'm this close. Instagram's got to be like, if Instagram had a version where you would pay $5 for the app itself to not have ads, I would do it. But then Instagram wouldn't make money. So I understand why they don't do that, but I'm getting to the point where, I would pay money to not see these sponsored ads, because they're like almost like, the thing is like now people are just like sponsoring their just normal posts, kind of like them just at the baseball game now. And it's like, dude, that's like a regular post, but why is it sponsored? I don't even know you. The Instagram ads are starting to look like the wall frames in Walmart with like the random families in them. And you're like, who is that? But they're just there. That's exactly what the Instagram thing is. I don't mind scrolling by because, minimal effort for me to do, but, it confuses me sometimes. I'm just trying to see like some sports stuff or something, maybe some native comedy things, and that's just me like scrolling on the phone, whether I'm like walking or I'm in bed or on the toilet. Those are the things you look. You're on Instagram. You're just chilling. And oh man, I'll be like PG-13 here. I was going to the bathroom, and I cannot stand automatic flushers, bro. Automatic flushes are like those things, that you sit and they automatically detect if you're on the toilet, and they flush. I swear, like you move a centimeter, bro. You move an inch, that automatic flusher is gonna go. That's exactly what happens. Like 10 seconds later, you jolt, it just flushes again. And I don't need to flush that many times. I don't need that many courtesy flushes. And maybe in public some people do. But I thought it was a little ridiculous to have so many automatic flushers, looking at it like that. It's just, then you walk out and it's just like, you almost went through something in there. It was like a really, not a shocking experience, but like kind of an annoyance. So kind of one of those things you're like, what, did this really need to flush? So I try to cover it. Yeah, I grab like a piece of paper and I try to cover it. It doesn't work, dude. It reads right through whatever it is. I don't even think it's like motion detected. I feel like it's actually detected. Like it can feel you. I feel like this toilet seat's like, feeling me up, not in a weird way, but, it recognizes me and it flushes every time I sit down on it. And that's just ridiculous, I never really understood that one either. I never really understood either that IKEA is a total maze to totally switch subjects on you there. So Quinn and I went into IKEA, and IKEA is one of those, for people who do not know what IKEA is or who've never been in one, IKEA is basically a huge furniture store that is just blue and yellow that sells meatballs and hot dogs, and everything's in a different language, or like, I don't know. God, I don't want to say the wrong country. What country is IKEA from? Oh yeah, good there. No Wi-Fi. Love that. And now I gotta type in my Wi-Fi password. Wow, yes, I love that. I love when things just disconnect like that, and you can't get to it. Okay, Sweden. Okay, IKEA is IKEA is based out of Sweden. Okay, so everything's like in Sweden. Everything's like in a different language. It's not. It's in English, but the names of the furniture are in Swedish. Okay, so IKEA, big blue building, usually in the middle of nowhere. It's in Swedish. They sell meatballs, and it's a maze. Those are the 4 things you need to know about IKEA. Okay, so we get into IKEA. We go in. IKEA is basically like a labyrinth. You go in. You go up these escalators. You take a turn. You start like exploring. The only way out is to get to the end. It's like a casino in there. So it's like, you go in to find a lamp at IKEA, you're going to come out with fucking bathroom mats. You're going to come out with maybe like a hanging wall to clip things to, maybe a desk. You're going to come out with a lot of things. But it was just like insane. Like there's so many sections and themes of a house like I've never really thought of. Like I usually go into the aisles in Walmart and Target. Okay, that's all you need. IKEA is like 4 steps ahead. And it's like, if you want to get a certain item, if it's there, if it's not out of stock, you gotta you get the name and the number, and then you have to go find it in the warehouse. Like IKEA is like, you're almost doing the warehouse job too. There's like no stock people. They just put it down there and say, yeah, it's in aisle C number 4, and you gotta go down into the basement of IKEA to find it, and then you can check out. And I will say, like IKEA, like, and against Costco, I gotta give Costco the edge on the food, bro. Costco's, oh yes, I just remembered, dude. I got a piece of pizza in the fridge from Costco. Yes. Okay, I'm pumped about that. Okay, so yeah, IKEA, and then so I order a couch, and they say, okay, we'll get there. I got it on I went there like the day after my birthday, and then it took about 9 days for the couch to get here. Couch still hasn't gotten here. The couch was supposed to get here yesterday, and this is what happened. So I was like, the IKEA automated number texts me and says, hey, we are going to give you your couch and deliver it on Friday. If you would be there from 3 to 7, we will deliver the couch. So this was at 9 when I received this text. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go do other stuff instead of sitting at my house all day waiting for this couch. So I go to Costco and Joann's, and what do you know? What do you know? What do you think happened? Bzz. I was like, who's texting me at 1:30? Open it. They are scheduled to be there in less than 10 minutes. I'm 20 minutes away. So I go, well, I'm not getting the couch. And then they say, oh, it was delivered. So I was like, okay, well, then I'm good. I get home, not there. So I was like, okay, where is this couch? Where did it go? Did someone steal it? I was like, no, I doubt that. But I did think about it for a good hour. And then they email me again and say it was failed. And then I was like, okay, well, how can I get a hold of them? So I called them yesterday on the phone on hold for an hour and a half. Nothing. I hang up, pissed. Go to work, come back, email them. They get back to me within by the morning this morning. And then they say, okay, we'll reschedule it for Tuesday. And I am going to sit at home all day. I'm going to call in to work on Tuesday, and I'm going to wait for the couch all day long. That's what's happening. You got to take your day off, I guess, now, but to get your couch delivered, it's just too hard for them to, I guess they don't want to, leave it there and then someone steal it and then them get in trouble. So I guess that's probably why it's like that, the system. But, when did that start becoming a thing? Guys, remember that? When, stealing things, from, a porch was nah, let's not do that. Now it's, a thing. I think it's because Amazon, people are actually getting, valuable stuff now. Back then, people would be getting, pictures of them at the park and maybe a tablecloth or something. Nowadays, people are ordering, Roombas, Dude, I've been thinking about Roombas a lot lately. I don't know why. It's just one of those words and, things I've been thinking about. I don't know if I really want to get one. What a Roomba is an automatic vacuum. But I don't know. I feel like it's having, a little robot in the house. But if I have a Roomba, I feel like that's slowly making my way into be that cool with the robots, hey, bro, I had a Roomba. And then they're like, all right, you're good. If the robots were to take over, which I don't think they will, yeah, bro, I've had a Roomba for a long time. We cool. And then my Roomba actually says, yeah, man, humans are cool, man. He makes sure I get charged. He makes sure he even vacuums the big stuff for me, shout out to him, That's what I think some Roombas would, are good for, they're going to help you in the long run. But yeah, I don't know. What else is going on? What did I say? Oh yeah, I totally love this too. Don't you guys love it when you're building something? Oh yeah, everything from another thing about IKEA. If you go to IKEA, you're going to have to build whatever you buy. And that's just duh. Everyone knows that. But the worst thing about it is when you get something from IKEA and you get the package, they forget the nails that go with it, or they forget the crucial thing that you need to put it together. It's like, oh, you need a certain nail that you can't just go buy at Home Depot unless you go ask someone, It's not just on the front shelves. So that happened to me. And thankfully, my Auntie Jessie came up clutch, and she gave me a toolbox that had a whole bunch of these random tools, and that random tool was in there. So shout out to her for that. Oh, in the same breath at IKEA too, we get up to, this was actually a couple days later at our grocery store. I went to, Target? I think it was Target. And they asked me if I wanted to round up to donate to something. And I think that's a good idea, okay, that's nice. It's just a flat fee, no change, whatever. But why don't they donate? Yeah, Target. The company that is, okay, let's look this up. Okay. How much is Target? How much you guys think is Target worth? Oh my God. How much is Target worth? Target is worth, oh my God, it doesn't even tell me. Target net worth. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here it is. Target net worth is $118 billion, and they're going to ask me, do I want to donate? You donate, bro. Yeah. I don't get that. Everyone's got to donate and everyone's got to be good people, all the corporations shouldn't. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Let's just I don't like to count pennies or anything, but that don't add up. Like, you guys donate, bro. Oh, well, we're making jobs. Okay. Then don't donate as much then. Donate still, you know? Oh, yeah. And in the same day, I was... Okay, this is another grocery store. I've been out at the grocery store so much lately. I actually live right next door to one now. Like, this is the closest I've ever lived to a supermarket in my life. I can literally walk out the door, and I'm at least 35 steps, maybe like 50 steps away from a market. The market I live next to is pretty expensive, and it's kind of like a Whole Foods, and I go there every day. Am I proud of it? Yeah, because it's good food. Does it hit the bank account a little bit? Yeah, it does, but whatever. You know, but anyway, I get off work. I go to work from 9 to 3. Come back. It's 3:30. Sit down on the couch, or sit down on my bed because I don't have a couch. Couch still isn't here yet. Thanks, IKEA. I go over there. I was like, it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna get some ingredients to make a nice dinner. I get to the grocery store, and I'm walking around getting all the ingredients. There's 6 lanes there, and they're all packed. And I had this big decision because I was coming down the ice cream lane, and I could see all of them. And then I say, which one do I choose? And which aisle do you think I chose? You're right, the slowest one. Okay, so now I'm in the slowest lane, and there is a lady who I thought was it was a mother and a daughter, and they had 3 carts total. May I also remind you, this is the 2 days before Thanksgiving. So it's like Thanksgiving Eve. I'm behind them, and I was like, I thought they were like holding a cart and they were going to go quick. Everything they had was out of the bag, unscannable, so they had to type in a code. And what do you know? The person who was ringing them up, brand new worker, didn't know any codes. Steven, do you know the code for lemons? Do you know the code for bok choy? Do you know the code for this? Oh my God. Okay, so they're just going the slowest they've ever been. Okay, whatever, they're new. But I was being patient. Then, this is the part that gets me. Then they pull out the coupons. And I was like, okay, people got to save money. It was a lot of them. So I was like, okay, we're good here. They're just going to, I don't got to do anything. So I just, deep breathe, I did that like probably 5 times just to like not get impatient, trying to work on being patient. Then, the things in the front of them, like on the store, like the candy, the magazine, the tabloids, the Red Bulls, the fridge that only has like Pepsi and like nothing you would ever really want. Sometimes they have Powerade. But anyway, this lady walks up and she's looking at these Christmas gifts, because in Christmas time, there's like Christmas gifts there. And she was looking at them. It was like a mug filled with like hot chocolate. And she's like, oh, she's not that old either. She's like probably like a young 50s. And she looks at me and she like tries like cutting me off. And she's like, are you in? Before she can even say, are you in line? The lady behind me is like, no, you go in the back of line. She barely even spoke English to whoever the lady was behind me, Asian lady. She's like, no, you back line. Back of the line. And the lady looks so shocked. And I was like, yeah, you got to go. Because we were already waiting. I don't know how long at this point, probably 20 minutes. We didn't move a muscle. This lady comes and tries to cut us. Well, she's like, I only got a couple things. This lady had 30 things in the cart. And she definitely had bok choy in there that the lady definitely was not going to remember the code. So it was going to be another, oh, hell no. So yeah. Oh yeah, and the total of the person above me, or, ahead of me, was they spent $2,500 at this grocery store. That's how much stuff they had, even with coupons, dude. I feel like the coupons didn't even do nothing. If you got coupons, man, oh, man, you got to use them up. But, man, $2,500 even with coupons, I'd be like, man, I'm going somewhere else. I would definitely, I got these notes on here and, like, what I'm going to talk about and stuff, like, oh, yeah, I was on the news the other day. Yeah, I work for Daybreak Star radio station. Shout out to them. the most res thing that, ever could happen to me. It was like, so I was like they're like, hey Dom, can you show up early tomorrow? And I was like, okay, fine. Cause I usually get out at 9. They told me to get in at 8. And I was like, I guess get in, put the hoodie on, put the hat on. What do you know? Hey, we're live. And we do a lot of like interviews and stuff like that. And it's just on Zoom and like we edit it and everything like that. We get there, we're live on the news in like 5 minutes. I was like, what? So like, I just sit there. I was tired, dude, because that night I also stayed up and played Xbox because I was like, you know what? I'm going to play my Xbox. Okay, and I'll get to that. But then we were on the news and my cousins saw me and they were calling and texting me, and I was getting a call as I'm on air and it's right next, and I can't move out of frame because they told us not to move. So I'm like trying to mute my phone and I can't, and it's just ringing the whole time. But it would have been hella res vibe. I just picked it up like, oh, hey, what up? And then just, hey, do you see me? That would have been hella funny, but maybe a skit or something. But that day or that night prior, going back, I went to work. I drove a turkey to my auntie's house, came back, did more work, did my class, and then it was already at that point 12:30 after all that. And I said, you know what? I've done everything everybody else wants me to do today, including my job, my teacher, my girlfriend, my auntie, and everyone. And I said, you know what I'm going to do today? The rest of the day? I'm going to play Madden 22, and I'm going to get beat by the computer. I'm going to be in a bad mood for like 30 seconds because I lost to a computer, and then I'm going to go to bed. And I don't care what time that is. So I did that, and I don't regret it. I don't regret looking tired on TV, man. That's just sleepy Dom right there, bro. Yeah. Yeah. So what else is going on? Holidays, man. Holidays happened, and I didn't make a big thing going on for the birthday or Thanksgiving this year because I think from now on, every year I'm going to take my break around then, just for those times. Everyone takes spring breaks or winter breaks. I'm going to take like the mid-November break. So Thanksgiving happened, and Thanksgiving is one of those things where a lot of people are like not excited to really celebrate. I've really never been a fan of Thanksgiving in the term of like just the same old cliche thing like everyone else says, like nobody really likes turkey, then you got to go and like socialize with family members sometimes, and sometimes it's tense, and that's okay. I'm not dissing on any family or whatever, but I'm just saying at the same time there's that pressure of everyone. I'm not trying to get soapy on here either, but do what you want to do, man. Don't feel pressured. That's another thing, especially in holidays. Holiday season, it's really hard to go do that. It's also really hard to convince people that gas station food is legit. There's actually a new gas station food that opened up, and they have fire pizza, and I get it, or my guy Rob put me on it. I got it. I like it. Put other people on. People are so hesitant about gas station food, but I'm telling you, this gas station has a restaurant even in their gas station, and people still are like, bomb. Don't doubt. Don't diss on gas station food, bruh. Gas station food is key. I don't know how many times I've had clutch burritos from Chris's store on the res, man. Oh my God. Or chicken tenders from some random gas station on the road with some barbecue sauce. Oh man, that's it right there, That's the move. But you know what's not the move though? And speaking of food, and a lot of people in Thanksgiving somehow fall not even on Thanksgiving, people fall victim to this, and I hold my tongue. I've held my tongue for about 24 years now. I've never said anything, but bro, if you're putting cold butter on a piece of toast that you can't even smear, just be patient and take the butter out first so it smears on there, It just does not. Oh yeah, you got this really hot piece of toast, and then you put this is what happens. You go, oh, I made some toast. I forgot to take the butter out the night before that day, or you don't have one of those things that keeps it from the flies getting in it. You go, okay, I have a piece of toast. I'm going to put my cold butter on there, and it's going to heat it up. It won't do it. Not in the time you're going to want to eat it. It's just going to stay there like a cartoon. It's just going to stay there, and then you're going to be eating this toast, and you're just going to get a bite full of butter because you didn't want to take it out of the thing. That's what happens. So I've held my tongue for this long. You got to start, you got to get rid of that. You got to, put that butter at room temperature. Everyone likes to just keep the butter in that thing in the fridge, What's going on? Oh, man. Oh, yeah. My buddy didn't answer my phone call earlier, so I did something kind of, not that I'm really proud of, but I *67 called him, and he answered. And his excuse was he was sleeping, and that was Rob. I was trying to get him to go work with me, and he was trying to act like he didn't want to get up. So I *67 called him, and he answered. So *67 still works. Got to give that a try. Just like the kids when they're young, bro, you got to get them to try that piñata, bro. Nothing makes you feel more badass as a kid, when you're the older kid and it's your turn to hit the piñata, bro. I was actually at a birthday party, and there's these kids, they were lining up to hit the piñata, and the older one went up and hit it, and, that's just, you got to set that example for the little ones, bro. You got to hit that piñata. Piñatas were cool back then, but I remember, oh, man, that was embarrassing, though, if you would miss your swing at the piñata. Oh, man. I went to a birthday party one time when I was young, and one of my Mexican buddies, they had a piñata, and what they did is they would spin you. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do it, but they spun me like 8 times. I got super dizzy because I thought I was going to be like, oh, I'm going to hit this out of the park because they were younger. Most of the kids were younger, and I was like one of the older ones. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to break it. And then they spun me, and I missed. Oh, man, that hits your ego as a kid. I think that's the first time your ego gets taken hit is when you're a kid, is when you miss in the piñata swing. When you're little, you don't really know, but when you get like 8 years old and you know what's in there, and you've been at a couple, you've been around a couple birthday parties, you know what piñatas are, you know where to hit them. Yeah, but when you miss, people start laughing, or the dad or the uncle's holding the piñata and you're swinging hard and they just tuck it. Yeah. Oh man, that's that ego right there. That goes away, or I don't know about goes away, but it definitely gets you in the back a little bit. I was at McDonald's the other day too, and this is what happened. All of a sudden, McDonald's just doesn't have breakfast in all day anymore. So I got so accustomed to McDonald's having breakfast all day. I pull up and I'm like, yo, can I get 3 sausage McMuffins and 3 egg McMuffins at like 11:30? They're like, hey, it's not breakfast no more. Is this an episode of Big Daddy or a movie of Big Daddy or something? Because all of a sudden, like now, McDonald's doesn't have breakfast at all times of the day. I never really understood that. Actually, yeah, I do understand that. It means like at a certain time you don't get breakfast. But that's just something I use as a filler now. It's kind of like when people use the word or like or something like that. Man, I just can't stand certain things, man. And also, this podcast isn't like a therapy session, but sometimes it's just I got to talk about things that are just on my mind, man. Just like how that TikTok voice sound. I wish there's a way you can like say hide this sound from on TikTok. Is there a way I can hide any TikTok video that has the TikTok voice sound or like the automated voice? I want that off I don't care what the video is. The video could be the coolest video in the world and it has that voice. I don't even want to watch it. How to set up a blang bang blang bang bang. That's all TikToks right there. How to blang 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 blang. That's basically the recipe of what they are. I just can't stand that voice. Change the voice. Anyways, we're 32 minutes in. What can I talk to you guys about? Oh, yeah, let's go look at this real quick. I want to talk to you guys about in today's news. Let's go check it out. In today's news, what's going on here? In today's news, we'll just use NPC because it was the first one that popped up. Omicron variant now in North America. Wow, new COVID strand. That's scary. Don't really want to get into that, but that's pretty scary. Mask up, vaccinate yourself. Also, there's ads on here. I love that. I love when you're just trying to read something and someone's trying to sell you something. I love that. Let's see. Okay, let's go to like entertainment because then it's easier. I'm not trying to look at politics. Okay, Tony Bennett leaves his heart on stage with, oh, nice. He did a performance with Lady Gaga. Okay, anyway, this isn't getting us anywhere. How about Indian Country Today News? Okay. Articles by Indian Country Today. Let's go check it out. Dozens of online indigenous gift ideas. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you know, at those markets, man, they got the best gifts. You know, go get them earrings. Go get that, you know, everything right there. What else going on? Madison Gardens in Chicago. People out here planning. Okay, cool. You know, that's awesome. People out here doing good things. I know that's kind of a lame part of the episode. But anyway, I am going to be speaking here at an event here in Tulalip Resort Casino, December 11th with Mike Moan and Superman. I'm super excited to announce that. If you guys are going to be in the area, it'd be really awesome if you guys can come check it out. What I plan to do is I plan to show the youth how to start a podcast, why I started one, and also the resources they could utilize from our tribe or from any tribe, you know. It all starts with, you know, just going up to someone and asking, hey, how can I get help? And a lot of people don't really want to go and do that. A lot of people don't want to go and ask, hey, how do I do this? Because they don't want to look, you know, like they're in need or desperate or something, you know. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to, everyone needs help in something. You know, I wouldn't be here today without asking help. I just started asking help all the time for everything, you know. When I first went to, it started in like high school, you know, like I would go and talk to the counselor, like, hey, what should I do about my classes? And then I'd be like, okay, well, what do you got to do here? And then I'm like, oh, well, and then I would just go talk to another counselor, and then it just kind of like snowballed, you know. And now look where I am today, you know. I'm not perfect and no one else is, but, you know, it's fun to be doing what I love. But man, I'm starting to feel like my studio I'm in now, I feel like I'm kind of like that native counselor in a way. Like the way this room is set up, it kind of reminds me of like I'm the native liaison. Like you come in, all right, let me see what class I can get you, you know? I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe it's giving me right now. Yeah. Other than that, everything else has been going well. We're here in the new studio, new episodes every week again. After that November break right there, man. You know, holiday season's coming up, so let's get ready for that. But once again, thank you guys for being here today, listening, or whatever you guys are doing. Have a great one, and thanks for listening. I'll talk to you guys next week. Wait.
Please don't let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you've been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams? I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to forget all my problems, cause I'm done. Everybody watching when they look at what might be. I just wanna call my mama, tell her I'm the one. Nothing she ain't know, got my angels right by me. Yeah, got my guidance. I'm just trying to sleep so I can fly in. Baby, take my hand, know that I'm the pilot. I've been waiting just to show you, go and tell me if you like it. So let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you've been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams? I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to
Playing act like I'm sleeping, they ain't gon' notice me. Think I live for the week and my mind is weakening. Need a smoke break and 2 shots of whatever. Multiply the 2 until they both surrender. And now I'm better than ever, like got a cuties watching. Like rollers watching the Cuban autumn, the mouths are watering. I'm drowning, I'm hoping the world ain't pleased, I'm underground. I'm drowning, I need a hand, so
please don't let me down now. I've been gone for a while, you been tripping. Late night on my phone, I've been sipping. Got me up too late, baby, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm just trying to sleep. Would you love me in my dreams? I'm just trying to sleep.